I have been waiting for Honor of Kings to globally release for 7+ years. If you guys didn't know, Vainglory single-handedly got me into mobile MOBAs and MOBAs in general. I've never liked them on other platforms, but man, did this get me into mobile gaming in general. That's the whole reason this channel even exists. Now, after 7+ years, and now that I've got my hands on Honor of Kings, is it worth your time? Is it good? Was it worth the wait? I'm gonna share all my thoughts with you all, but before we get into it, please leave a like, pop a sub, and comment down below what you consider to be the best mobile MOBA of all time. I'm curious to know. Let's get some discussions in the comments, and let's get right into it. Honestly, my first impressions of this game were kind of mixed, at least appearance-wise. What's really strange is there's kind of like default fonts and kind of rough animations here and there with certain menus and UIs, and the UI itself is actually really overbearing. There's a lot going on, a lot of different notifications, but once you get through those notifications, it's a lot more bearable. But I don't think the first impression is that great, at least for new players to this genre, or new players to games that have not been localized yet and finally go global. This is pretty common. Translation errors are here, but not super prevalent. I've just caught a few here and there where there's different languages still displaying on the screen, even though English is the primary language, stuff like that. But I don't want this to sway you from trying out this game. That's just like appearance-wise. Now, how is the gameplay? How are the heroes? How does the game feel? What are the options like? This game is super, super polished when it comes to its optimization, in my opinion. It runs so smoothly. I've never had any hiccups, no issues, no lag, no nothing. It is super smooth. Now, there's like tons of heroes. I think there's 100 or more, which this game has been around for a while. Honor of Kings is the granddaddy of all mobile MOBAs, and it just never released globally, and people kind of forget that. Now, it's been around for a long time. That means there's a robust roster of heroes, and yes, there are some heroes that are more meta than others, but for how many heroes are in the game currently, this game is surprisingly balanced, in my honest opinion, with the heroes that I've currently tried. And there's guaranteed a hero for everyone out there in this game. The roster is huge. Now, the graphics and the graphic settings are really good. Now, does this game look as good as Wild Rift when you crank everything up to 11? I wouldn't say so, but it's pretty dang close. It's like I said, it's kind of a mixed bag with the appearance of this game. In game, and when you're checking out a character or a hero up close, things look really good. It's just the UI that kind of gives it a bad impression. Now, with the gameplay itself, I like Honor of Kings way more, the pace of Honor of Kings at least, way more than Wild Rift. Now, let me explain. Now, these appear to be very similar games, but Honor of Kings has one unique feature that is not talked about enough, in my opinion, that really makes this have a flavor all of its own. Now, you're able to buy your items as you're playing. You don't have to port back to your base in order to buy items. You can buy them on the fly as you're farming lanes, as you're getting into team fights. That is huge. That keeps the pace at an all-time high. Now, I understand certain Wild Rift players or players that like kind of the lane management where you're having to manage your lane, then go back and kind of strategize when to do things more often. I can understand that being a negative. But for me personally, I love the fast-paced, high-octane team fights happening all the time. You don't have to port back. You can constantly roam the map and make strategic decisions all the time. I love that. I think that also quickens up the match and the nature of these matches way more, to where instead of having that 20 to 25 minute match at the very most, I feel like 20 minutes is the longest a match usually lasts in this game. More often than not, it's usually 10 to 15 minutes, in my personal opinion. And that's the whole reason I've never been able to get into MOBAs on other platforms, such as PC, because there's simply too long of a time commitment per game. But in this one, you can crank out like 4 to 5 matches in the period of an hour, which I think is fantastic. And if you like the more high octane, constant action going on, constant team fights, I think you'll really like Honor of Kings in comparison to other mobile MOBAs such as Wild Rift. And I think that subtle change gives this such a more unique flavor. Now, other than that, everything you've seen in other MOBAs is here and it's prevalent. So don't expect anything new outside of just that small change, but that small change is just insane. And I found so many fun character kits and characters that are not just found in League. Honor of Kings really does have some very unique characters that I've never encountered in Wild Rift myself, which is really exciting for me as a mobile MOBA player that hasn't really experienced any really unique characters in quite some time. Now, lastly, or one of the final things, the control options here are very robust. You're going to be able to absolutely tailor everything when it comes to your controls or other options in the settings to your liking. That's huge. Now, finally, I am blown away with how generous Honor of Kings is. Now, I understand that they just globally released and they have to be generous to keep it on par and keep players and new players up to speed with players who have played this game for absolute years, like almost a decade at this point. So I get why they're being super generous, but they definitely didn't have to be. And they have an event going on where you get a free hero every single day of your choosing out of 3. And you can refresh those heroes if you don't like them a certain amount of times, and you can earn more refreshes just by playing the game. Now, that guarantees you 30 heroes up front just alone if you log in for 30 days straight for the event. And that's super easy to do. You log in and you get a free hero. That's freaking sweet. That's a third of the roster right there if you just get a free hero every day. That's not to mention you can get free skins instead of those heroes if you rotate through and refresh it and get a skin and you're like, oh, I want that one instead. You get that for free. Now, on top of that free hero event slash skin event, there's tons of events for currency. Just by playing the game, you just get butt tons of currency that you can spend to unlock more characters. In a MOBA, that's where the fun is for me. I'm not necessarily as big in on the cosmetic side of everything, but if you're just wanting to get into a MOBA and have a wide variety of characters at your disposal right from the very get-go, Honor of Kings gives you that, and it allows you to have so much fresh experiences, so many fresh experiences with different characters, and sometimes you're going to surprise yourself. You're really going to enjoy a certain character that you honestly were just trying out on a whim and you weren't expecting to like, which is really cool. Now, that's probably my last positive point. My only negative point, other than kind of the mixed first impressions of the UI and kind of how aggressive the UI is, there are bots in your initial games of this game, and it's very obvious too. Like, the bots just get rolled. Now, I don't know how long the bots last, and since I play ranked, I definitely see less of them, and I don't see them almost at all anymore. But just be aware that when you play quick games, there are going to be bots, at least while you're a beginning player. Now, I don't know when they weed them out. If there are any Honor of Kings or seasoned Honor of Kings players watching this game right now or watching this video, please let me know in the comment section down below. When do those bots go away? I hate when games introduce bots. This is a huge negative in my opinion. But overall, would I suggest Honor of Kings to someone who is new to MOBAs? Yes, I really would. I think it's actually more approachable than Wild Rift when it comes to the MOBA genre. Would I suggest it to players that are currently already playing Mobile Legends Bang Bang or Wild Rift? Yes, because this really does have a flavor all of its own. Initially, if you're just looking at Wild Rift and Mobile Legends Bang Bang and Honor of Kings, you would say, man, they can't be that different. They all appear to be the same. Even when you watch gameplay, it almost looks the same. But this has a very, very different feeling. Now, yes, is it janky in certain ways? Yes. Is its age showing a tiny bit? Yes. But man, is it a good-looking game. Man, is it optimized. And man, does it feel good to play. And it is a blast. Now, if you guys didn't know, I was partnered on Mob Crush. And when I was streaming as a partner, I used to play mobile MOBAs all the time with my viewers. And I know some of those OG viewers from a decade ago, almost a decade ago, are watching my channel to this day. And if you guys are, please check out my IGN in this video. It's Mint City, capital MC, no spaces. Please go add me and let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll get some games going just like the good old days. The nostalgia is real. I'm so excited to experience this game and see how it goes. I'm really, really pleased, to be honest, and I was kind of a little bit hesitant. So I hope this helps you determine whether you want to try this game. If you're new to MOBAs, I think this is a great option, and I think it'll at least be more likely that you'll like this over other mobile MOBAs or MOBAs in general. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, pop a sub. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below, letting me know your favorite mobile MOBA. Let's get those debates going. Let's be respectful. I love you guys. I hope you guys are staying safe, and take it easy.